Welcome Postdoc Transformers. This is a very special episode because I'm collaborating now with WISEcast, hosted by the wisest women, Dr. Richa Chandra and Dr. Amber Miller. And you are now listening to the second part of our conversation around picture scientists, which means that if you haven't listened yet to the first part in their WISEcast podcast, then click on this link below, so that takes you directly to their first episode of Picture a Scientist, our conversation. And then after that, I hope that you will be coming back to the Postdoc Transformation show for the second part of this conversation. Now I assume you have already listened to our first part in WISEcast. Why am I so happy to be here collaborating with WISEcast? Well, WISEcast is the podcast for women in STEM in education and is hosted by the wisest women, Dr. Richa Chandra and Dr. Amber Miller. Dr. Richa Chandra is a tenured associate professor chairing chemistry at the University of St. Thomas in Houston, Texas, US. And Dr. Amber Miller is a research scientist at Bethel Laboratories in Montgomery, Texas, US. The Wisest Women is an organization bringing equity in STEM by empowering women through real conversations, and they bring awareness to the challenges women face in STEM and education. I'm opening brackets here. I really do think that they also speak especially to moms and people of color, because it's not just a gender thing, it's intersectional. To turn these challenges into opportunities, they inspire others to find their place in STEM, build their tribe by making meaningful connections, and develop their voice to lift others and break down barriers. And that really speaks to my heart. Their first episode aired in October 2020, and we all know how COVID-19 impacted the world. I discovered the WISEcast only in 2022 and found the conversations relatable, honest, and capturing the zeitgeist, the emotions and thoughts from the point of view of women scientists with care work responsibilities on their way to become professors or leaping into industries. Being an underrepresented professor myself, as a woman, Asian in Germany, and also a mom, in every episode I have the feeling of eavesdropping. Two role models in academia sharing valuable insights and validating my experiences in a very vulnerable way. They are really the girlfriends in academia you want to be around. So, according to FeedSpot, they rank 13th among the 60 best women in STEM podcasts. So it's not just me celebrating WISEcast, and that's why I'm sharing this with you. I've been working hard to get their attention and to be invited into WISEcast, and I will link to our episode Leaping Out of Science from November 22 in the show notes. That really was an epiphany moment for me, and they inspired me to create my own podcast, the Postdoc Transformation show for scientists leaping into business. So if you are grateful for this show, you really have to thank Richa and Amber for inspiring me to do so. So, drum roll. Without further ado, here's a second part of our conversation reviewing Picture a Scientist, a movie about prominent women in science who endured and coped with systemic and intersectionally compounding obstacles during their career. This really is a must-watch recommendation.